Well, finally I'm leaving Eloy, Arizona. Beautiful weather, you know, beautiful sky. Basically summer is in full swing. See, the guy over there is walking in just in a t-shirt, and this is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a bit late, but I'm only 15 miles away, 30 kilometers from the shipper in Casa Grande, and I cannot believe that I'm going, you know, out of the summer. I'm not going back to Ontario, but you know, like regular winter weather, but I'm going to Fort McMurray. Okay. Oh, that was the agent. They are starting to panic because they say, oh, you were not there for 8 o'clock. Well, no one told me it was an emergency, you know, like. But anyway, what I did was I found this tire shop, right? So I got authorization from LCAP, Landstar, to do the tire change on the national account, so I didn't have to pay any money out of my own pocket. So they'll just take money, you know, like over the next few weeks over my paycheck, which is great. And I did some research on tires, and these guys only carry Goodyear and Yokohama. And I found two tires I liked, you know, like big tread and a nice tread design. And I go there, the guy doesn't have them. So, but he has a Goodyear tire, Goodyear Yokohama, but they're all 14 ply. But so I got Goodyears, but you know, very nice tread. And now I gotta go. So now I have to do alignment. And the guy gave me they don't do alignments here. And he gave me an address for a shop in Phoenix. That's where all the alignment shops are. And after I'm loaded, I'm gonna go to that alignment shop and see if they can do alignment. Alright, so let's go, because these guys are starting to panic. I'm at the shipper. Looks like these guys are making some kind of a fiberglass. And what I'm picking up are those, see those plastic parts? And I asked them what they're for, and the guy said they put them in the ditch next to the roadway. So those basically divert water from the roadway, so that the water does not, you know, get on the pavement and does not cause, you know, like hydroplaning and stuff like that. So basically this stuff will be sitting in the dirt. And because it's designed to divert water, so I'm just guessing, but I'm not 100% sure, that it should not be afraid of water. And now the next statement I'm gonna make should sound funny based on what I just said, but the shipper wants these pieces topped. To me, that's always funny, you know, and that's why I ask him, what are these things? What are they for? What do they do? So if they tell me that they're like, you know, some kind of part for a spaceship, right? Okay, I understand topping. But when this thing sits right now, sits on under the open sky, okay, this is Arizona, right? So this is warm, no snow, but actually they did have some snow a short while ago. But you see, they keep all this stuff outside, right? So it's not afraid of moisture, at least the one that's in the atmosphere. And then this product is designed for to be placed in the dirt. So why do you want me to tarp it, you know? But anyway, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention about tires, I asked the tire guy, I said, how long do you think that tire would have lasted if I wouldn't have changed them right now? And the guy said, well, maybe a month. He says it's hard to say, but it would not last long once it started wearing that bad. And I said, so what do you figure, 5,000 miles? And he says, no, I don't think it would have gone that far. So that tire still had lots of life in it. I mean, I could probably have safely gotten to Alberta, which is only 2,000 miles away. But one thing I noticed is that when I was accelerating, the steering wheel started shaking because of that thing, you know, like usually around 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles per hour, the wheel was shaking, you know. And I want to see my new tire. And what I have now is a Goodyear. I know Goodyear are good for heavy loads, but this is just a 14 ply, you know. They didn't have 16 ply as I wanted, and this is a G399ALHS. and I switched to the same size I have on the drive. So this is 11R 22.5, but it's a 14 ply, but it's a good time. The guy gave me cool valve caps. He says you can check the pressure right through the valve without removing that cap, which is cool. Here's what my load looks like before tarping. Some wood, some fiberglass. It's all very light. And you see, this time I was smart, so I used this heifer twist on this strap. Just okay, let's check for aliens. No, nothing. Alright. And then you see they have all these weird things sticking out, like they have these. You gotta be careful because they can damage the tarp. And then I got one skid in the back, and I had used this porta winch because I only have one winch here, and this is over 1,000 pounds, so by law you gotta use two, but I would use two anyway because it's in the very back, you know. So they say, yeah, these things are installed kind of like, you know, here, like if this is the road, they put them over here in the ditch to keep the water away from the pavement. It's a very light load, 7,000 pounds. And of course now I'm not happy that I still haven't done the lift on any of these axles. Now I'm going to drag 3 axles. And of course my trailer is good for up to, with these 6 axles total, like I'm good for up to 75,000 with a permit. Or about 45,000 pounds without a permit, like legal in US. And actually, yeah, this load was supposed to be a flatbed load. See, again, I show up and my dispatch calls me and they said, oh, they were asking me why did you send a step deck? And she says, did they load you? I said, yeah, they loaded me. You see, shippers just don't like step decks, you know. But this case, why? Because see, they have these 2 things, right? Like one skid, basically there's like 2 skids over here. One and then the second, right? If they were any longer, you know, it'd be impossible to load because it's I got a drop, right? Remember I was talking about this. That's the big disadvantage of step decks when you call it flatbed load is because of this. See, and it helps that I have a big upper deck. I have 11 feet upper deck, so at least that is better than, like, lots of guys go for a 10-foot deck over here and then the rest like 43 over there. But I think it's better to have slightly bigger deck, you know. See, just one skid, it's barely, well, of course it could have, it can stick out a little bit, you know, in the front, but still. I feel more comfortable when my front deck is 11 feet. All right. And this is Highway 93 in Arizona between Phoenix and Kingman. And I did alignment in Phoenix. I don't know if maybe I just wasted my money because I don't think they had a laser alignment, you know. But they found something with the bearing in the right wheel, so they fixed that on the steer axle. And now I'm just driving towards Kingman, Arizona. There's a TA truck stop in there, and it's plus 23 Celsius or 74 Fahrenheit, and local time is 5 o'clock. I'm driving in my t-shirt, sandals, light pants, and I even drove with air conditioning for a while because it was getting too hot. Check out the scenery. Kind of looks like I don't know, New Mexico or south of Arizona. And I'm driving very slow because my load is only 7,000 pounds, so I'm trying to save fuel. It's a long way to Fort McMurray, Alberta. Pretty hilly.
that I only have 7,000 pounds on the deck.
And here's the view from my driver's side. I'm back in the shop because Jesus, today is not my lucky day. I was driving and I saw some metal piece in my lane, like sticking out, and I was not sure what it was. Was it a piece of plastic or a piece of you know, some wood or something? But I thought I did good because it was right between my wheels, you know. I passed it, and at this point some other guy was passing me, a big truck, and the road was very bumpy, and I keep driving with my cruise control on, and all of a sudden I start hearing hissing sound from my red and you know, from my yellow and red knobs on the dashboard, like the air is leaking from the knobs. All of a sudden, and I'm driving, right? That happens occasionally when I'm parked, and then I just touch them a little bit, and you know, just a weird small leak. But this time it started leaking like seriously, and I look at my gauges, and the air 2-1 starts going, you know. But the pressure, it keeps the pressure going because I was on the highway, I guess. And then I took the ramp. It was just like 10 kilometers, you know, like 6 miles away from this TA here in Kingman, Arizona. And I took the exit, and now I understand what happened. Of course, I started going slow, right? So my RPM went down, and the road went up a little bit towards the truck stop, and all of a sudden I feel like when I try to shift, the truck slows down, as if the brakes are applied, you know, or as if you have like 200,000 pound load. So between the gears and that second where you try to shift, upshift, the truck just slows down. And of course that's not good, right? That means that my brakes were already grabbing the wheel. And by the time I just went over there from the fuel island back here around the shop, I already had difficulty driving, even like in the third gear. And when I stopped in front of the shop, I pull the truck brakes, I grab my flashlight, and without shutting off the engine, I go around, and right away I hear a very strong hiss from under the trailer, like front axle, and I touch the hose, and it's cut like this, like with a knife, you know. So I did hit something metallic, and then I look at my license plate. My license plate is bent outwards, like something hit it, you know, going towards the back of the trailer.